Hi, everybody, and thank you for stopping by. Hope you're having a really blessed day and you find yourself with plenty to eat. Now, a lot of you know that I buy a lot of food that is extremely cheap, 39 cents a pound, 88 cents a pound, and a lot of times I don't even go grocery shopping for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. But there are times when I do like to splurge, and when I do, it will be on a pot roast. It's usually the only thing I'll buy when it comes to beef in general is pot roast. I like pot roast, and the absolute best way to cook pot roast is on top of your stove in a Dutch oven, not in your oven. It comes out extremely tender, moist, and delicious. And this also can be cooked outside on an open fire in a Dutch oven. And that's one of the things I like about it so much. And will just be fall apart tender and just moist and delicious. And what I do is I start off with my cast iron pot. It's a big one that I have. I have two very large ones. I start off with 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of my pot. Heat it up a little bit, and then I put the roast inside. I don't do a whole lot of seasoning to any of the meat because I usually put salt and things like that on the meat when I eat it, or my food in general, because I think we oversalt things. Here it is. I flipped it over because I brown it on both sides, and I am going to take all the oil and fat off of this because it has a tendency to cook out with a lot of fat in it. It really does in the end. Because this is a very fat, moist, tender meat. It just cooks low and low. I just think the oven dries it out. And not only that, it heats up your house way, just too hot. And you really can't cook it any other time except in the winter. And I like to be able to cook this even in the summertime. And I actually have cooked this on the outside in the summertime. As you see, there it is. It's getting brown. And I'm going to put a top on it because I added water to it, as you saw, 1 glass of water. And I'm going to let it cook. Now, a neighbor, a friend, out where I live, I wouldn't say a neighbor because she was really far from me. I don't know, she goes places and gets different things. She got a half of a head of cabbage, and she got a few red potatoes. She got them for free. She doesn't cook it. She never seems to know what to do with it. You know, they're not perfect, but she brought them by. And I'm going to use them in this pot roast. Now, I know a lot of people use potatoes and carrots, and the mustard greens you saw, I bought those. This is the woody part of those mustard greens. I always pull them off because I don't like them. I think they're too hard no matter how long you cook the mustard greens. Most people don't put mustard greens in their pot roast, but I will. And it's delicious. Now here I have a red a red onion and the cabbage. And I'm going to cut that up and put that in there. Because this roast has been cooking for a couple hours. I let it cook 3 or 4 until it's just fall apart tender. But you can cook it to the tenderness of what you like. I like mine just fall apart tender, and I probably will cook it 4 hours. And the cabbage only takes an hour and a half, maybe 2 at the most. And if you see here, out in the corner there, I have my greens that I shoved down in there. It's mustard greens. My son tells me that the price of mustard greens, you have to be rich to afford to feed a family those, because the organic mustard greens is $3. And the non-organic is $1.99. And I put 2 heads of mustard greens in here. And do you see this? There's my potato. There's my meat. Oh, that meat is tender. And over there, you got it, mustard greens and cabbage. All in one pot. And it is absolutely delicious. And there's the leftover meat. And I will do all kinds of things, from sandwiches to tacos to chimichangas. I mean, it's incredible. at the different things that I will do with this meat that will keep me for the rest of the week. This meat will last me for 5 days, and I will be able to feed 2 to 3 people all week.